after your run, you are going to do just a few stretches that will make you feel good and keep all your muscles loosey-goosey. The first one is butterfly. So you grab your toes, if you can, pull them toward you if you want more of a stretch, but just, you can also just let your knees flop open like that. But you really want to feel it in the groin areas. And then the next one will be on your back. And we will go right into a figure four. So your right ankle is crossing your left thigh, thread the needle. You can come up in a straight position like this, using your elbow to press against the outer thigh, and then bend that knee and really push against the ankle so you feel the stretch right in here in the hip flexor. So good after you run. And then of course, switch sides, left ankle comes above the right knee, and you can do it straight, thread the needle, keeping your feet flexed. And after about 20 seconds in each of these positions, then you bend that knee and press against the ankle, the outside of the ankle, and using your elbow to press against the inside of your thigh to increase the stretch. And while you're here, just for good measure, grab your knees, sort of like a happy baby in yoga in reverse. But really good for the back, and often you see races, sprint races in the Olympics, and first thing that the sprinters will do is get down, after they finish, is get down on the ground and do this. So it really stretches out your back. Then the final one here, you flip over, and you can get into all fours and go into the downward dog position, and up like this, and you are going to thread your knee right through your arms, and this is the yoga pose called pigeon. You can hold it right here if you like. You want to look back and make sure that your hips are in alignment, that they aren't falling or collapsing off to the side, that they are straight on. And if this is all you can do, that is awesome. If you are flexible, more flexible, you can come down like this and really stretch out that hip flexor. Now, for some people like me, this, it feels good, but it just isn't a huge stretch. So you just have to figure out what works for you. Some people are just more stretchy, flexible than others. And we pop back up, downward dog. And this poor mat that has been with me for about, 40 years is coming apart finally. And make sure that back leg is stretched and straight, and your hips are not collapsing over to the side. And then come down, if you like, and take a little nap. And those are my three most favorite stretches after doing a run. You can add a little bit more to it. Another one I like to do is just a twist. So while you come up from that position, come up and grab your knee and twist toward the back. Make sure again those hips come down. And these are very good for digestion, or so they tell us in yoga. And I'm a big yoga fan for running too, because you've got to have an equal and opposite reaction. So grab your knee, make sure the hips are down, and look toward the back. You can use this hand to help assist that stretch. And then another one for shins, which is awesome. You can do this right after you run. Find a wall, fence, a post. You're going to lead your with your feet, and make sure that you're leaning flat against the wall all the way from your butt up, but then your legs are going to be about a foot away from the wall, give or take. And we're going to do this in 3 positions. We're going to you start with 10, work up to 15, go to 20, and these are called toe lifts. These are great for preventing shin splints post-run. So I am outward with my feet. I am going to now do 20 inward like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, piece of carrot cake. And then the last set we are pointed in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then of course some classic runner stretches you want to do after every run. You can hold on to something, or if you are into yoga and well balanced, you can do it without holding on. So you are grabbing the heel counter of your shoe with your hand, and you are putting your knees together and standing up as straight as you can. Squeeze your glutes because that's really going to enhance the stretch in the quadriceps. And just whatever balance you can find here, enjoy the stretch. And release, and then switch. So you're grabbing your heel counter with your hand, putting your knees together, making sure everything is close in on the thighs. Strike a balance pose, flex that foot, and pull it in. Squeeze your glutes, and you will really feel a great stretch in your quadriceps. Feels so good after a run. And then the final classic runner's stretch is, of course, a little lunge. So the leg behind you is nice and straight. You're leaning forward. With that forward leg, your knee never going any more forward than your toes. And some people like to bend that back leg after about 20, 30 seconds stretching. And that stretches your Achilles and your ankle, your calves super well. And then of course switch sides. So that front leg is bent, back leg straight, and you just sink down into it. Some people, if you don't feel this stretch, turn that back leg, that back foot in a little bit, and you might feel it more. And then if you want, bend that back knee a little bit, trying to keep that heel on the ground, which for us runners, long-time runners with tight calves, that can be a challenge. Same thing in downward dog as you try and reach for the ground with your heels. It's challenging for us runners. That's why yoga or some similar stretch like these are so important. And then one more, just for good measure, little groin stretch here. So kind of like you are ready to take off sprinting. And just hold it for 20 seconds, 30 seconds or so. You want to feel it right in there, and switch sides. Yeah. So again, leaning, pushing on the inner thigh, not on the knee, as I started to do there. And while we're down here, just hang like a rag doll. That too is going to stretch out that lower back. You can go to one side and back to the other. Just enjoy that hard effort you put forward running, because it's going to give you a lot of years to your life, especially combined with a vegan diet. Best kept secret in America.